Thank you for loving Trainer a Child Schools. Teacher Katimbo Richard teaching mathematics. In the past 3 sessions, I've been looking at fractions. So are we continuing the same? Today we have gone banking language in P.6, term 2, and which episode, when watched, one will be able to do all the activities from page 53 all the way to page 57 of our book, P.6, term 2. And now, like I said before, we are visiting the bank so that we understand what they use. You know, in life, if one is to be responsible, one must keep one's savings into the bank to be able to have safety of one's money and to be able as well to access the banking services like loans and many other services. So that's what we have come for, or I've come for in this episode, to look at the terms or terminologies that can be used in the banking sector. And now, majorly, we shall look at 5 terms, that is simple interest, principal, rate, time, and total amount. I said simple interest, principal, rate, time, and total amount. As they are here, said this is term 2, we shall look at simple interest, principal, rate, time, and total amount. The first thing is describing them. We shall start with the principal. You will ask the teacher, what is principal? Look at the spelling of the word principal. Principal is the amount of money one deposits onto one's account. To dispose is to put your money onto your account. So the amount of money that is deposited onto one's account is termed as principal. All principal means the amount of money one borrows from the bank. So both are called principal. The borrowed money and the one you take onto your account is also called principal. Then simple interest. Simple interest is like profit. The profit accumulated after estimated time. So that is the excess amount of money one gets onto one's account after keeping that money into the bank. All the amount of money one has to return to the bank after that bank has extended a loan onto that very person after a specified period of time. So when you get a loan from the bank, you don't return that already money lent to you. You will add on some extra. That extra is called simple interest. So that is simple interest. Then we look at the rate of interest. Rate is ever expressed as a percentage. I know in the previous episode we talked so much of percentages and we said percentages are fractions. So rate is also called the simple interest rate or rate of simple interest. Why so? It is the percentage at which the interest is calculated every after a specified period of time. Normally a year, but can also be monthly. That is the rate of interest. Then time is the period one spends with the borrowed money. That's the period one spends with the borrowed money. All time is the period one's money spends in the bank onto one's account. That is time. Then total amount. Total amount, like the word total suggests, is a combination of 2 things. That is principal and simple interest. So total amount equals principal plus simple interest. So that the terms we are going to look at, all the key words we are going to apply here, and these are the two important formulae we are going to deal with. One, simple interest equals principal times rate times time. Simple interest equals principal times rate times time. Another one is TA, which means total amount. Total amount. I say it's a combination. So total amount equals principal plus simple interest. So that's what we are going to centrally look at. And now we'll look at examples and see how one goes about these 5 terminologies of simple interest, principal rate, time, and total amount. Question number 1, or example number 1 reads, what interest is paid on a loan of 80,000 shillings at a rate of 10% per annum for 2 years? What interest is paid on a loan of 80,000 shillings at a rate of 2% per annum for 2 years? Now, we're asking for simple interest. So, but now, on a loan of 80,000 shillings, we say the amount of money one borrowed from the bank is called principal. So, principal equals 80,000 shillings. So, what you must do is to detect what each figure given serves as. Like this amount, 80,000 shillings, serves as principal. Why? It is a loan. It's the amount of money one borrowed from the bank. So 80,000 shillings is the principal. Then at a rate of 10% per annum. Per annum means per year, or yearly, or annually, or every year. And this is what determines the units for time. Even say per annum, you expect time to be in years. So we say rate equals 10% per annum for 2 years. Time is equal to 2 years. So if this is per annum and these are years already, that's the normal setting, because per annum means per year. Per year for 2 years, that's normal. But when you say per year or per annum for 2 months, the 2 months cannot be used when there are still 2 months because of the dictionary of the word per annum. So if it is month here and it is per annum, it means you will have to convert your 2 months to years. I'm not saying rough, but convert. How many months make a year? 12 months make a year. So then 2 months are yet to make a year. So it's going to be a fractional year. So you say 2 out of 12 years. That is if this were to be months. But these are already years, and they are saying per year or per annum. So it's already normal, whatever is here fits to be used directly. So they're asking for simple interest. That's why I say simple interest is called question mark. What interest? So simple interest is called question mark. So available are 3, that is principal, rate and time, to ask for simple interest. I already gave you this formula. Simple interest is called principal and rate times time. So it starts. Simple interest is called principal and rate times time. Simple interest equals this principal, 80,000 shillings, times the rate, which is 10%. Remember, I said percentages are fractions. Write 10% as a fraction. That's 10 out of 100 times the time, which is 2. It's 2 years. So don't put years, for we need only 1 unit in simple interest, which is ever in shillings, like we are in Uganda here. So we cancel now. Shilling, by 10 by 10. Wherever cancel zeros, we divide by 10. So by 10 once, by 10, 10. Then by 10 once, by 10, you get that 8,000. So we've got 8,000 times 2 remaining to get a simple interest. Where 8 times 2 is 16. Then add the 3 zeros. So the simple interest will be 16,000 shillings that day. So to read the interest, one is going to get or earn after that period of 2 years. As we look at the second example for today, it reads, calculate the interest. Calculate the interest on 6,000 shillings kept in the bank for 3 years and 8 months at a rate of 12.5% per annum. So calculate the simple interest. Calculate the simple interest on this amount kept in the bank. The amount of money kept in the bank is called principal. So you say principal equals 6,000 shillings. Kept in the bank for 3 years and 8 months at a rate of 2.5% per annum. Because of the word per annum here, then the month cannot be maintained. Per annum means per year. The time must be in years only. So the 8 months must be written out of 12 to change them to years. That's why the time is 3 and 8 out of 12 years. Where 8 out of 12 is further reducible by 4. 8 divided by 4 is a 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the actual time is going to be 3 and 2/3 years. 3 whole numbers, 2 and 3 years. 3 and 2/3 years. So we use years when you see the word per year, or per annum, or annually, or every year, or yearly. So that's the time. Then the question was, calculate simple interest. Start. Simple interest is called principal times rate times time. Simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time. So simple interest is equal to this principal, 6,000 shillings, times the rate. The rate of interest is 2.5%. 2.5% means 2.5 out of 100, and out of means divided by. So that's why whole 2.5 divided by 100. 100 must also get its denominator 1. Anything that's out of 1 remains that one. So 100 out of 1 means 100. So it remains like that. So 2.5% is written as 2.5 divided by 100 out of 1 in the calculation. Then times the years, which is 3 and 2/3 years. So 3 and 2/3. Now we are going to convert these two mixed fractions to improper form by saying denominator times the whole number plus numerator out of denominator. So do you use this one? Put a times and a plus, a times and plus. 2 times 2 is a 4. 4 plus 1 you get a 5 out of 2. Then division of fractions is the same as multiplication of a reciprocal of the number to be divided. So the division changes to multiplication, then get a reciprocal of 100 out of 1. So times 1 out of 100. Then here 3 times 3 is a 9 plus 2. You get 11 out of 3. And then start your cancellations. Start your cancellations. Ensure you are successfully doing it. So we start with our zeros off by 10. Wherever you cancel 0, dividing by 10. By 10, by 10, by 10, by 10. That's 0. So those two zeros have gone and these ones have gone. Remaining 60. So 60 and 2 can further divide by 2. 2 by 2 once. 60 divided by 2 get 30. Now I've got that 30. So I've got a 3 here and a 30. So we divide by 3. 3 by 3 once. 30 by 3 get 10. So on top we are remaining with 10 shillings times 5 times 1 times 11 as simple interest. Where 5 times 1 is 55. 55 times 10, you get 550. So the simple interest will be 550 shillings. That will be accumulated after 3 and 2/3 years. So that is why we call it simple interest, a little interest that is earned after that time. Then part B, we ask you to find the total amount of money one will have in the bank after that time of 3 years and 8 months, or of 3 and 2/3 years. Let's see. We say total amount is a combination of principal and simple interest. So do we start? Total amount is called principal plus simple interest. The principal is here as 6,000 shillings, and the interest, that simple, is 550 shillings. So we add them, that's 6,000 shillings plus 550 shillings. Align them in their vertical order of place values, where 0 plus 0 get a 0, 0 plus 5 get a 5, 0 plus 5 get a 5, and 6 down. So after that time, this man, we have a total amount, or lady, we have a total amount of 6,550 shillings. That's what's called total amount. So if he decides to close his account, this is what he's going to withdraw or to take out of the bank. So as we go to example number 3 for today, and so that's read. Calculate the period of time where the principal of 190,000 shillings will generate an interest of 15,000 200 shillings at a rate of 4% per year. So find a period of time. They're asking for time. Let's see what's available. Can you have a period of time where the principal is 190,000 shillings? So principal is 190,000 shillings. We generate an interest of 15,200 shillings. Simple interest equals 15,200 shillings. You write it properly at a rate of 4% per year. Rate equals 4% per year. So they're asking for time. So time is called question mark. So we are learning how to find the time. In the first example, we learned how to find a simple interest. Then in the second example, we were asked for simple interest as well as total amount. Now we are asked for time. How does one get time given principal, rate, and simple interest? So we know the formula of simple interest. That simple interest equals principal times rate times time. But now this time round, we are not asked for simple interest. We are asked for time. So we start or state this way. This time the other way around. Start with principal. Principal times rate times time is called simple interest. Then you are going to substitute accordingly. We know principal as 190,000 shillings. Break it down. The rate is known as 4%. Remember 4% as the fraction is 4 out of 100 times 4 out of 100. So we don't know time. It is remaining t. It's unknown. So remains t, which means time, equals our simple interest of 15,200 shillings. That's the normal substitution. So we are left with the t. Now start our calculations by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. So you see, we are left with 1,900 times 4. Here side work, multiply 19 by 4. 9 times 4, 4 times 9 times 6, right? 6 is group 1, group 3, then 4 times 1 is a 4 plus 3, very 7. 76, remember 1 0 is here, so to be 7,600 T shillings. There is also a T. T shillings equals our simple interest 15,200 shillings. Now, we want to remain with the T, meaning we are leaving T with 7,600. So, we divide both sides by 7,600 shillings. So, divide by 7,600 shillings. Even this side, do the same. And then start your calculations by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 76 ones, shilling off, remain with the T. That's our time. Then look at how we divide this big number. We cancel the zeros first by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. You remain with 152 out of 76. So those two are divisible by 2. Let's see how we divide by 2. 7 divided by 2 is a 3 remainder 1. It makes a 16. 16 divided by 2, you get an 8. So thereby getting 38. Then 15 also divided by 2, you get 7 remainder 1. 12 by 2 get 36. So I get 76 out of 38. So those two are further divisible by 2. Be careful. So 3 by 2, 1, remainder 1. And then 18 by 2 get 9. 7 alone by 2 get 3, remainder 1. And now 16 by 2 get 8. So we are left with 38 out of 19. Answer will be yes. Then test how many times this 19 goes. So this 19 goes into 38. You try outside work here. You say 19 times 20. How many times? So 2 times 9 is 18. Right? 8, regroup 1. And then 2 times 1 is a 2 plus 1, you get 3. Indeed, it goes 2 times. So cancel. So by 19 once, by 19 2. So the time will be 2 years. It's after 2 years that 190,000 shillings will generate an interest of 15,200 shillings at the simple interest rate of 4% per annum. So that's how we answer that. Follow through strictly, you will be able to answer. One will ask you where we get the units, years, this one per year or per annum. If it were to be per month, this would be 2 months. But here we say years because of this word per year. Per year determines the units for the time for this particular discussion. So we look at number 4, example number 4. Example number 4 says find the rate per annum Find the rate per annum at which a principal of 100,000 shillings will generate 2,500 shilling interest for a period of 6 months. Here they are saying per annum, and here they are saying 6 months, meaning the 6 months cannot be maintained. The time must be in years here because of the word per annum. So find the rate. Now we are learning how to find the rate, having forward the time. So how do we find the rate of interest then? So you say rate equals question mark percent per annum, question mark percent per annum, question mark percent per annum. Then time is 6 months. So it can be in months again because of per annum. So time equals 6 out of 12 years. Why 12? 12 months make a year. So go reduce by 6. 6 divided by 6 once. 12 by 6 to 1. 22. So the time is going to be half a year. Half a year. So it should be in years because of the word per annum. So the principal of 100,000 shillings. So say principal equals 100,000 shillings. That one is given, and the rate and the time. Sorry, they are giving us time. They are giving us principal and simple interest. Simple interest is here. We get this interest of 2,500 shillings. So simple interest is equal to 2,500 shillings. Then start working out. We have the principal, which is 100,000 shillings. The rate is the question mark. The time is half a year. You know why now. Then the simple interest is 2,500 shillings. Then find the rate of interest. Should be noted that the rate is ever a percentage. So at the substitution level, we shall write R out of 100. So we first state the formula. Principal times rate times time equals simple interest. The principal is 100,000 shillings, right? 100,000 shillings times the rate. We don't know the rate, but if the percentage, write R out of 100 times the time, which is a half a year. So a half equals our simple interest, which is 2,500 shillings. Ensure you substitute accordingly, and now start your cancellations. So by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10, thereby remaining 1,000 here. So since we have got a 2 and 1,000, a 2 and our 1,000 we divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 once. 1,000 divided by 2 get 500 shillings. Yeah. So this side of God, 500 times R on top times 1. That's 500 R shillings. Remaining this side equals 2,500 shillings. So now to make R, which is the rate of interest, divide both sides by 500 shillings. So that 500 shillings leave that side. So leaves that side. So divide by 500 shillings, and here 2,500 shillings divided by the same. That is 500 shillings. You cancel by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 5 once by 5 1. Shilling, put on shillings, shilling, remain with R here, and now put on shilling, so that you cancel by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. 5 by 5 once, 25 by 5, get a 5. So the rate of interest will be 5% per annum. So the question was calculate where we find the rate percent per annum. The rate is 5% per annum. That's the way we answer. The rate of interest given, simple interest, principal, and time. And now we are going to learn how to find the principal as last example, so that all the 5 are fully taught, fully given to you, and then you will be able to answer any of them brought from today until when you want to end. So we go to example number 5. If Mukasa borrowed money from a bank for a period of 3 years at a rate of 4% per year and paid an interest of 18,000 shillings, find the amount he borrowed from the bank. The amount of money one borrows from the bank is termed as principal. That's why you say principal equals question mark. I don't know it. For a period of 3 years, time is called 3 years, at a rate of 4% per year. So you say rate equals 4% per year. So to pay an interest of 18,000 shillings. Simple interest is equal to 18,000 shillings. So being available rate, time and simple interest to ask for principal. So we work within the formula of simple interest, but starting the other way around, like principal times rate times time is called simple interest. Then here P is unknown, remains P. So P times the rate, which is 4%. 4% of the fraction is 4 out of 100 times the time, which is 3 years. So just write 3 equals the simple interest of 18,000 shillings. That is real substitution. Now we cannot cancel. Okay, we could, but I chose not to. So we can just multiply now. P times 4, 4P. 4P times 3 get 12P. So I've got 12P out of 100 equals 18,000 shillings. Now find LCM. LCM is for denominators, remember? Any number that doesn't have a denominator is out of 1. So this side is out of 1, that's 101. So the LCM is 100. So do you multiply these two sides each by 100? 100 times 12P out of 100 equals 18,000 times 100 shillings. Then you cancel 100 by 100 once, by 100 once. You make 12P this side. And then 18 times 1, you get 18 with 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one will bring 1,800,000 shillings. Yeah, 1,800,000 shillings. But these are still 12P. 12 must leave by P, called the principal. How does it leave? By division of either side by 12. So that 12P divided by 12 is got 1,800,000 shillings divided by 12. We divide by 12 once, by 12 remain of the P called principal, and now start our cancellations. Now start. 18 and 12 are both divisible by 6. You chose to divide by 6. You could choose to divide by 2, by 3 as well. Now I've chosen 6. 12 divided by 6, you get a 2. 18 divided by 6, you get a 3. Then all the 5 zeros must be written up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got that's 300,000. 300,000 divided by 2. 300,000 divided by 2. So we divide by 2. Now 2 by 2 once, 3 by 2 once. Remainder 1, 10 divided by 2, get a 5. Then 4 zeros go up, so I get 150,000 shilling principal. So how much money did this Mukasa borrow? This Mukasa borrowed 150,000 shillings in the bank. And later it accumulated that simple interest of 18,000 shillings. That is after the say 3 years. In short, that's how we deal with the 5 terminologies teacher has talked about. That is simple interest, principal, rate, time, and total amount. So you will be able to answer the activities that are within the range of the pages 53 all the way to 57 of our term 2 P6 workbook. Again, thank you for watching this and loving our school. Actually, our schools train up a child. Teacher Katimbo. For more information about this or mathematics in general, call Teacher Katimbo on this number 0776 251655 or 075 72330066. We'll meet in the next episode. Otherwise, this one has come to an end. Take care of yourself.